Today we ask the age-old question, will it vengeance? Watch the movie first. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Peach Crisp. Caleb is joining us again today, and we're going to be reviewing Vengeance.
A BJ Novak story.
Yes.
Yes.
It is.
It is his
starring BJ Novak.
Directed by BJ
Directed by
Novak.
BJ.
Written by BJ Novak.
BJ Novak, the movie.
Really, that's
Essentially.
what it is.
I hope it wasn't based off a real story for BJ's sake, but
I wore my John Mayer shirt because John Mayer was in the movie, and he's my favorite artist. So
he was in the movie.
He was. So
at the beginning, and then they said his name later on.
They did.
And it was like in a text message or something.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and get into it.
I love getting into it.
Okay. All right. Y'all know the rank system by now.
I'll put it up here.
You can put it somewhere out here. So start out with the plot. Out of 25, I thought the plot was really cool, really interesting. I think it kind of picks up a little too fast, which is kind of weird to say because it's like, you know, most of the time the plot is too slow. But like the start of the movie, they like character dump us with how horrible of a person. What's his name? The main character?
Ben.
Ben. I just know him as BJ Novak. So
I know him as Ryan, the fire guy.
Ryan started the fire.
Yeah.
So Ben is talking to John Mayer, and they're talking about how horrible they treat women, and it's just like, okay, so these guys suck. That's cool. And then like right after
100%.
that, he goes like and sleeps with a girl, and then boom, the plot starts. Like you don't get much time to get to know the characters or anything, but once the plot starts, it's kind of like, okay, well actually I like this because the plot was so cool, and it's essentially like this girl that Ben like hooked up with in high school or college maybe. College. She died. No, I'm so sad. She dies, and
Spoiler alert.
no. And so BJ Novak, Ben, he gets a call from the girl's brother and finds out that, like, she talked about him all the time. And so her family considers Ben to be, like, a part of their family because they think they know him so much, even though they've never met him, and he literally wasn't dating this girl. And so he gets a call from his brother, goes to the funeral. It's really funny. It's funny. Goes to the funeral, and then the brother tells him that he thinks that she was murdered, not just died from an OD, which is what the cause was that they said. So it's really cool. I don't want to spoil anything because like it's different from that, but saying what actually happens just spoils the movie. But that's like the gist of the movie when you start watching it.
For sure.
And I think it's really cool. So I give the plot a 23 out of 25.
Okay. I agree with you on pretty much everything. I mean, it was a fantastic plot and very well done, and it's different than, you know, the tried and true murder mystery, which we have covered a murder mystery.
Yeah, not a doubt.
Before. And this one, it had like almost a coming of age feel to it.
Yeah.
As well, and it was very well done, very well written. To me, it honestly. It was only an hour and 45 minutes, I think was the runtime.
Yeah, hour 47, something like that.
Yeah, and it felt longer than that, which sometimes you would think is a bad thing, but in this case it really wasn't because I didn't want the movie to end. I gave the plot a 24 out of...
Valid?
Yeah.
Yeah, I do like the coming of age aspect of it. It was pretty cool because it was like a big part of this movie was character growth. Like it was just like, wow.
He definitely learns a lot by the end of the movie. Like, you know, talk about how he regrets that he never loved, and you know, it's our regrets that make us. You just have to make the right. Like, there was some cool stuff.
There was a lot of just cool lessons in it. I thought it had a lot to say, and it did a really good job at saying.
Yeah.
All right. Next is the characters. Okay. Out of 15, you can start this one.
Characters, it's going to be lower than I think most people think. Obviously, I love John Mayer's character for the 5 minutes he's in the movie.
I thought he was a horrible person, but
he was supposed to be. You know, he was supposed to
he
be.
did a good job at being.
And then, but there were some other characters I didn't care for. The sisters, the mom, the brother's friend who works at the oil plantation.
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. But B.J. Novak's character was very good, I thought. And I really liked the little brother. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, they call him, his name is like El Stupido or something, but he has a real
Mason.
name.
Mason is his name. And he was always like, yes, sir. I don't know why, but I loved his character so much.
He had a pretty good arc.
Yeah, I loved him. And so...
he was also really funny.
Ashton Kutcher's character was great. So yeah, I gave it an 8 out of 15. Kind of the halfway mark.
I was kind of the same. Some of the characters, I didn't like either of the sisters of like the family that he goes and stays with. Like Dove Cameron's in the movie, and I don't know, she puts on a horrible Texas accent. Like
that was a bad Texas accent.
Atrocious. Like it was
Southern
bad.
country. It was like it's like she could have been casted for Bella and the Bulldogs.
Like it
TV
was.
show. Like it was not a good acting. She's normally a very good actress. Like
she wasn't acting bad. It was just
the accent.
The accent was bad.
Yeah.
But her as a character, I was just like whatever on. She doesn't do much. There was one scene.
The other sister.
Yeah, the other sister doesn't do anything. They're just kind of there for comedic relief because they're both named like cities.
Paris.
Like it's Paris and
something else.
Something.
Yeah.
New Albany, maybe. No, it's definitely not
New
New Albany.
Albany.
I don't know. It's not New Albany. I can guarantee it's not New Albany. But I don't know. I don't even know what she said. But there was one scene where like Ben is sitting in his bed, and then Dove Cameron's character, she walks up, and then she's like, "You see my phone?" And then there's like cracks all over it, and then she says something. I have no clue what she says, and then she just walks out of the room. She's like, "There's cracks in it, so I can't see me," or something like that. I don't know what she said. She says it and then walks out of the room. I was like, "What do you? What?" I thought that some like deep character moment was about to happen. Then it was literally just like a blanket statement, and then she was like, "Okay, I'm out."
Yeah.
But besides that, I kind of liked everybody else. The grandmother was hilarious.
I thought she was funny.
When he's recording the podcast thing, and then she's talking about how she's like, "We're gonna need an AR-15," and all these different guns, and Ben's just like, "No, oh gosh, no, oh no." That was very funny. I thought the brother was a very good character.
He's a very good character.
And so was Mason / El Stupido. I liked both of them.
I love Mason, dude. I don't know why I love Mason so much. I love
He was
Mason
very
so
cute.
much.
And then I liked the mother.
I liked her at the end.
She was really good at the end. At the beginning, she was a little bit too like, "Oh, we love you so much. You're like family to us."
Her final line in the movie was very
Oh goodness.
hit. At the beginning of the movie, I wasn't a big fan of her.
Yeah.
But
I also liked it in like the falling action parts after Ben like reveals all the bad things that he knows, and then she's like,
bless your heart.
she says "bless your heart" and all that, which is like a bad thing in Texas or something like that. You learn earlier in the movie. So I thought that whole scene was awesome. I thought that was a really good scene. But so characters, I gave a 10 out of 15.
What's next, Mr. Caleb Ladd?
Originality. I don't have much to say about this one. Much like with Knives Out, it's like a murder mystery, but it's original. And this one has a lot to say, and it's more than just a murder mystery.
Yep.
Like, it's a coming-of-age story, it's a little bit of a comedy, too, and, like, it's done in a really cool way. And then, spoiler, skip ahead like 15 seconds if you don't want the movie spoiled. But the movie's called Vengeance, and he gets vengeance.
Yeah.
I can't stand in a movie, especially in movies where, like, a character will go, like, somebody they love dies, and then they go on this whole journey where they kill a bunch of people, and then when they finally get to the person that killed their loved one, they're like, "Hey, no, this is a bad idea. Maybe I shouldn't do this." It's like, you just killed like 100 innocent people. Like, we need more John Wicks in the movie world. Not in real life. Don't kill people. Don't do that. But yeah, he gets the vengeance, and it was like that scene was whoa.
That was very insane.
I was like, whoa. But so a lot of cool ideas are in this. Props to BJ Novak. I hope he makes another movie.
Absolutely.
Like this was a good one.
For sure.
I gave it a 4 out of 5. I mean, I thought there was like some basic stuff that goes on. So
for the same reasons, it was very original. You know, it was a murder mystery that we've seen done time and time again, and it keeps getting modernized. And the modernized murder mysteries, I think, are good. Like, we talked about Knives Out, murder mystery. I thought Death on the Nile was really good, even though it's not really modern, I guess.
Yeah.
But this was different because not only was it a coming of age, it showed like how we actually view the world. Like when Ashton Kutcher, spoiler alert again, admits to doing the murder and he pulls out the phone like he's been recording him the whole time. He's like,
I don't care.
Literally, because what he said is true. Like, people would get mad at me at first, and then they would blame the family, and then they would blame this. We'd be on panels together talking about, like, literally, that's true. That's how people are, because they value entertainment more than, you know, justice.
Yeah.
And it hit so hard with that. So the characters, even though, you know, they're basic country folk, they're very stereotypical, but they still had their own differences. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because the whole thing about it being like a podcast too. Like,
yeah, that was also pretty.
We were looking at his actual show as he was like, I don't know. It was very original to me. Nothing like this has really ever been done before, and I gave it a 5 out of 5 for this.
Respect. Up next, we have enjoyment.
I'm not going to spend any time on this at all for the same reasons we've been talking about. 25 out of 25. I enjoyed this movie so much. It was not at all what I expected it to be. I expected it to be a funny, I expected it really to be mainly comedy with like some kind of twist ending. Mm-hmm. And it blew me out of the water. I did not expect to get what we got, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. So, 25 out of 25.
Okay. I also will not talk about it very long, but I'm not going to give it a 25. There were some kind of slow parts. There was like some scenes that I was just kind of like, okay, I get what's happening. Let's wrap this one up and go to the next one. But for the most part, it was like absolutely incredible. And those not bad scenes. I don't think there was a single bad scene in this movie. But those like less enticing, less exciting scenes were backed up with like some S tier content.
Yeah.
But I couldn't give it a 25. And the movie, as you said earlier, it did feel a little slow, so I gave it a 22 out of 25. So, still very high up there. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. 25. Oh,
Thank you.
Okay. Cinematography, it was good, but I don't think it was anything special. Like, I don't think there was a shot where I was like, whoa, that was a cool shot, which I like seeing in movies. Like, so... nothing too special, but it was definitely good. It just wasn't anything wild. So I couldn't give it a bad score, but I couldn't give it like a 4 or 5, so I gave it a 3.
As an aspiring filmmaker, I thought the shots were fantastic.
They looked good, but there was nothing special. Good.
I have to disagree because the final death scene, I thought those were extremely special. The fact that we're looking at Ashton Kutcher, we hear a gunshot and you can see it hits the curtain behind him. That was like, holy crap, Ben is shooting at this guy. I thought the scenes of him driving, looking at Texas were very well done. I gave it a 5 out of 5 because there was no things where like, gosh, I wish they would have done the shot this way or this way. And that final scene where he, spoiler alert, kills the murderer was done so well. Like 5 out of 5. Cinematography was very good.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
There was just some of it was a bit more amateur. Like the shots of them talking in the cars was just like basic. Like it was just camera A, camera B when this character's talking, and I wish that there were a couple more like just stylized shots in the movie. Like we got some cool shots, like the death scene was really good, and there were some pretty shots of the landscape, but there wasn't anything that was just like blow my mind out. So 3. Up next, we have the acting.
All right. This is where I don't know how I feel about it because I thought the acting was good, not great. I gave it a 3 out of 5. You know, we've talked about the accent Dove Cameron gives us. I feel
It's bad. I don't know if I got that point across, but it's bad.
Yeah,
Sorry, Dove, if you're watching.
And even, not that BJ Novak did a bad job acting in this movie, but his performance, I don't think you can compare in terms of this movie to Ashton Kutcher, or even to the older brother.
Yeah.
And then other than those two, there's like their acting was the best. You had BJ Novak, the mother, and then the little brother, and then kind of everybody else. So I gave it a 3 out of 5 for those reasons.
For those reasons, I'm out. Sorry, Shark Tank. I kind of agree with that, but I don't think anybody did a bad job necessarily. Like, Dove Cameron's accent was terrible. I can't stress that enough. It was bad.
We're from the South, we know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was bad. But her acting was good, and everybody did at least a decent job. And then I'm almost convinced that BJ Novak only knows how to play Ryan.
Literally.
He acts just like Ryan from The Office, if you didn't know. But that's not a bad thing because I love Ryan.
Yeah.
So
who doesn't?
I'm not upset about it. I've seen him in stuff where he doesn't act just like Ryan, but this one is literally Ryan. That's the character he's perfected, and he does a bang up job at it. So I thought he did really good, but I will say he doesn't compare to Ashton Kutcher or the older brother. They were
perfect.
They were stellar in their roles.
I started thinking about Ryan. You just remember, don't shake the baby. Don't shake the baby.
Don't shake.
Yeah, sometimes parents will get frustrated.
Don't shake the baby.
You're not supposed to do that. Okay, thank you. I didn't know that. Thank God I said that. Dude,
I gave it a 4 out of 5.
Okay.
Attachment. So, I was attached to this movie. I was super excited to see the ending. I cared about all the characters. I wanted Ben to grow up because he's such a bad person at the start of the movie. I wanted the family to get closure on their dead family member and all that. And I wanted to find out was there a murder or was it just a drug overdose?
Yeah.
And so, but it wasn't one of those things where I was just if everything doesn't turn out the way I want it, I'm gonna be very mad. Or it wasn't oh my gosh, that was such a tearjerker ending, or I care so much about these characters. But I still really cared about them, so I gave it an 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Not much to say.
This is probably going to be our biggest difference because I really wasn't too attached to any of the characters. Like I said, I love the little brother, but he didn't play a huge pivotal role in the movie. If you're looking at the big people in the movie, there was really just Ben, who, like you said, I wanted him to grow up. The fact that he realized what was wrong with his life and he discovered the true meaning of life was very cool.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah, if you didn't know.
It's not.
I gave it a 3 out of 10 for attachment.
Oh.
Yeah.
I
just really didn't care too much about any other character besides Ben. No one else really, in my opinion, really needed that development. Except for maybe the older brother, but...
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
I
cared.
Yeah. That's okay.
Well, finally, we have the finale.
Oh, man. Well, I think,
also out of 10.
Yeah.
Give me your thoughts.
I feel like we talked about the finale so much. Just because the finale was incredible.
The finale was incredible.
Dude, I don't know. Whatever you want to count as the finale, if you want to count the scene where he goes to the party up until the end, or even just the scene where he's in the truck with the mom.
Either one.
If you want to count all of it or just that one scene. Both were perfectly done.
Both were 10s.
Both were absolutely 10s.
Yeah.
So, obviously, the finale gets a 10 out of 10. The ending was perfect. Like you said, he gets his vengeance. It wasn't something where, he discovered, okay,
that's bad.
I'm not going to kill this dude. I'm taking out vengeance. And it's the beginning of the movie was a foreshadow to that. I got to be able to shoot this guy with this. And he's like, no, we can't do that. But what I can do is this. It was backwards than what you normally get. Because normally it's I want to kill this person, and they realize I can't. And then
after the bad guy's monologue, he's like, this is the worst guy I've ever met in my life, and I'm a terrible person. And then he shoots him, and it was awesome.
It was awesome.
And then,
the final monologue of the mother, like talking about regrets and stuff.
Oh goodness, it was so good.
It was so good.
So good.
So 10 out of 10.
The ending, up from when he goes to the Whataburger with the family through the end of the movie, was just literally perfection. Like all of it was awesome. When he calls the podcast lady and she's like, "You need to come home now because I think the story's good where it is," and then he's just like, "No."
Yeah.
Like he thinks about it and he doesn't tell her outright. I think he tells her that he's gonna go back, and then he goes in and like talks to the family, has a big fight with them, and he's like, "Actually, I'm gonna stay and figure this out." And so that's what he does because he's a king by the end of the movie.
And I love how he deleted the podcast.
And he deletes the podcast.
Because that was his whole. That was gonna make his career. But he realized what Ashton Kutcher said was true, that the family would have gotten blamed eventually, and he knew that, and he cared about the family. And
great character growth.
Great character growth.
It was.
This is I'm pretty sure this is B.J. Novak's like first time directing a movie. I know he wrote and directed a bunch of episodes of The Office.
Yeah.
But I think this was like his first movie. I could be wrong
so.
about that. I will look it up just to make sure. But
there's something else he was in that I think he had a big part of, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, let me look it up. But
the deleting the podcast and him like when he like records the thing about how meaningless his life is in the grand scheme of things, I was like, wow, that was pretty deep, bro. And the whole end of the movie was just deep. It was awesome ending.
The whole movie was deep, and I didn't expect it to be.
Yeah, I was expecting a comedy, and it was also really funny. So,
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Oh,
regardless,
well.
if this is his first movie for a first movie, it's still
a great
it's an 83 out of 100 overall.
Oh, I have it at an 84 out of 100.
So.
I think I was at an 83 actually, but then I changed one score right before we started.
So, fantastic movie. It's so crazy to me how talented the cast of The Office is. John Krasinski made A Quiet Place, and B.J. Novak made this.
Yeah.
Movies on I guess almost completely different spectrums. I guess there's still like some suspense, but really on completely opposite spectrums. And they're fantastic. Not to mention that B.J. Novak and John Krasinski both like did work directing The Office.
Yeah.
B.J. Novak more than John Krasinski, but they still both did, and it was all episodes of The Office are hilarious. So the fact that they are so wildly talented, they can do something so funny like The Office, or so serious like Vengeance or A Quiet Place is incredible to me.
Not that Vengeance isn't funny; it's very funny.
It is. It's not like
the point of the movie isn't to be funny.
Exactly.
It just happens to be funny. Thank you so much for joining me on Peach Crisps today. Looking forward to Glass Onion when that comes out. You'll probably be back before then.
I'm looking forward to Vengeance 2.
I can't wait for Vengeance 2.
Check out Caleb AM every Wednesday at 7 a.m. on Spotify.
If you need some caffeine on Wednesday morning,
it will make your morning. Get through the hump day with all of us. Where's he going?
Sorry, I needed caffeine.
Subscribe to Next Topic.
Not sponsored.
Subscribe to Next Topic Media, and we will see you guys next one.
Bye-bye.